Today I'm speaking with Dr. Janeeka Benoit, also known as Dr. J, and she's a board certified internal medicine and sports medicine doctor. But she's also a runner, she's an exercise enthusiast, and she's a former ACE certified personal trainer. She is going to be talking to me today about her being the CEO of MedFit DO, where she serves as a health and fitness coach, helping really busy professional women achieve holistic fitness. And what I mean by holistic is we went to the same medical school. We didn't know each other, but we practice under the same philosophy of osteopathic holistic care. So, Dr. Benoit, thanks so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited for us to chat and just to delve into further.
I am as well because I love the fact that you're incorporating all the training that we had since day one of med school and bringing it forward to help so many others. So, where did you take an interest in physical fitness in the first place? And how did you know that you wanted to focus on that in your career?
Yeah, I think it really all started, as a child. I was overweight, really, as a child. And, I think in my teen years. And I just got into, fitness at that time. I remember it being the summertime. And my dad gave me a membership to go to the gym. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I love this stuff. And I just, really fell in love with it. And then it was in high school I fell in love with running because a new teacher at the time, Mr. Lawler, he started a cross country track team at my school where it didn't previously have one. So my best friend joined the track team, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna run?" And she was like, "Yeah, like let's do it." So I decided to tag along, and I fell in love with that too. So that's how this whole fitness journey began.
And where did you see yourself going after medical school and residency? Because it's enough work just to be, in internal medicine. That's a super, super busy and tough field. And then to also be in sports medicine. So now you're doing this additional business and serving so many professional women. How did you jump into that?
Yeah, so you know what, going to, Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine, in Kirksville, it was a very small town, and
Yeah, it
there
was.
was always something like an athletic event going on, whether it be a triathlon, a marathon, there was always something going on. So I would tag along with one of the, DOs at Kirksville who would cover all these races that were going on. And I just, I was just so ignited going to these marathons, just, seeing these athletes perform, their best. And I mean, I was just so elated. I was like, a kid in a candy shop. And I was just like, this is so cool. This is what I want to do. And I got involved with the sports medicine club. So I was actually on the e-board of the sports medicine club. But as I went into my clinical rotations, like sports medicine is not really emphasized in your clinical rotations. So you go through all the various subspecialties, and I was like, oh, I should be an intensivist because I love the acuity. So that's why I went into internal medicine because I like totally forgot about sports medicine. I was just in the hustle and bustle of going through my clinical rotations. I forgot like sports medicine was a thing. Not
Totally.
until I got into intern year and I did my, first IC rotation as an intern. And I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot do this. I love my sleep. I do not want to be answering, codes in the middle, of the night. And I was like, man, what am I going to do after this? And my best friend, she was like, weren't you like in e-board of sports medicine? Like, weren't you? Didn't you go to all those triathlons and marathons? I was like, oh my goodness, you're so right. Like, how did I forget? And then so that's where that just came back to me, which was amazing. I'm so grateful for my best friend.
That's awesome that you had the insight to make that change too, right? And not be stuck in one path. And now you're doing it for so many other women. So, can you tell us when you started this company and had the vision of helping other professional women really focus on not just their physical attributes of getting in shape and getting healthy, but where you talk about mental, emotional, spiritual, relational, and even financial fitness? How do you incorporate all of those together?
Yes. Okay. So I really got into this because I remember during residency, really like during my second year of residency, that was like my epiphany. And I thought to myself, okay, I, still want to be able to incorporate who I am and not lose that as I go through residency because, sometimes that can happen. You just kind of forget like the things that bring you joy. And I, loved fitness. I loved exercising. So I, still being a busy resident, I made time for that.
Yeah.
But what I realized was that, I was still like very irritable, going into work, even like seeing patients, like I would carry that irritability with me. I was, like sometimes just angry all the time. And I'm like, why am I like this? Like I exercise all the time. I make time for myself. And why am I like this? And it really I really started to examine my thoughts and the things that I would say to myself. And they were very damaging. And, the culture of medicine is sometimes almost self-sacrificial. And like, for example, sometimes, I didn't eat lunch because I had to see patients and like and even just that, that would irritate me. And now that I learned there's actually a science behind that, being hypoglycemic activates that amygdala part of your brain. So it's just like my amygdala was always being activated, like always during residency. And that's when I, learned about coaching. And I received coaching for myself. And I realized that, okay, well, I can deactivate my amygdala by learning how to examine my thoughts and looking at situations objectively and not thinking that everything is against me. And I've learned how to use my thoughts to become more curious and also formulate my thoughts that place me in a place of action so that I don't feel like I'm victimized, so that I feel like I'm a victor in every situation that I encounter.
Well, I think it's
So
awesome that you are using your medical training to coach other women, but also your personal experience to bring it all together. Dr.
yes.
J, I am elated that we've connected. Thank you for sharing your experiences. And for more information, I'm going to have her links below. Check her out. Her coaching is awesome. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Yes.